Hey guys, today's coffee hour, we're answering a question from a guest out in California. Her name's Rebecca. Today's question is how to tell if a guy really likes you and is not just using you for sex. So we're going to get into that in today's brief video. We're going to try to keep the video around 5 or 6 minutes. Today's video is brought to you by Faith Rising. It's Faith Rising on Amazon, FAITHRIZING. You type that into the Amazon search bar to see our 500 designs starting at, we have a shirt that's only $13.49. It's a reggae shirt. I actually bought myself one this week. So you can go right on Amazon, Faith Rising, FAITHRIZING, to see my clothing brand. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into today's video. It's more geared towards, I think, the ladies out there tonight because I do so many men's videos out there. I just got my Dunkin', so I'm pretty excited about doing tonight's video with you guys. Tonight's coffee hour, right? Or if you don't like coffee, like my ex-girlfriend, she didn't like coffee, she liked tea. So we ordered a bunch of tea. I ordered a bunch of tea, and then she ended up leaving state, so now I got all kinds of tea in my cupboard. So I did get something out of that relationship. I got tea. So anyway, guys, tonight's question from Rebecca from California is how to tell if a guy likes me and is not just using me for sex. I can give you a little bit of information on that because I am a man myself. So I can kind of give you the actual information on that so you can better understand when a man really likes you and when he's not just using you for sex. First of all, if a man really likes you, he gets excited about interacting with you. He gets excited about talking to you on the phone. He gets excited about texting you. He gets excited about seeing you. I know when one of my ex-girlfriends used to come over, I used to get super excited. I was like a little puppy on Christmas. I used to get excited to see her because I really, really did love this girl. She was a sweet girl. She was a borderline girl. So her emotions were all over the place, but she would do push pull with me where one minute she loved me, the next minute she didn't. But, she was a super, super cute girl and a super sweet girl for the most part. Yeah, she had her bad days, but for the most part, she was a very sweet person. And so I used to get excited to see her. One time she was coming home from a winter storm. She had just left work. And, she came home to my apartment and got on the couch and I put blankets over her feet and over her legs because she just got out of a winter storm. That's a boyfriend that really likes you. That's a boyfriend that excited to see you. She came home. I put a blanket over her cold feet, over her cold legs. That's a boyfriend that really likes you. The boyfriends that want sex, they're just gonna dip into your house and dip out. They're not gonna be there for your children. They're not gonna be there for you. They're not gonna do the work. Like if you have a child, a boyfriend that really likes you, he's going to do the work for your kids. He may take them to McDonald's play so they can play for an hour. That's a boyfriend that likes you, someone that wants to be involved with your family, someone that wants to put in the effort with your kids and be a good step parent. We all know being a step parent's not easy, but a man that really likes you will go that extra mile for you. Like if you have one child, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. You have one child. That's really not that big of a deal as far as dating the person. I mean, little Jimmy's playing video games in the next room over. Is that really that big of a deal that you might have to deal with a behavior once in a while? Like you might have to put Jimmy in timeout if he's, physically hurting someone. You might have to put him in timeout. So this whole single mom hatred campaign, I don't think is really fair because I've seen relationships work between adults. I've seen one of my old friends. He got with a single mom and made it work for like 7 years. They had a very positive relationship. They had a child together. Was that relationship mostly positive? Yes, I'd say it was about 90% positive. They end up getting divorced in the long run, but for the most part, it was a positive relationship. And she really did need the help because, it just didn't work out with her and her baby daddy. And so my friend stepped up and married this girl and stayed with her for about 7 years. So that's a man that really wants to be with you. That's an example. Do you see how he had gone out of his way to make a home for these people? He had gone out of his way to make a home for her children, gave her kids a bedroom. So those are the men that really care about you when they're going to go the extra mile for your children, when they're going to go the extra mile for you, they care. You know, if you don't have a vehicle and your boyfriend's coming to pick you up to take you grocery shopping, boom, you got a boyfriend that cares. The guys that just want sex, like I said, they're just going to dip into your house, dip out. They're going to invite you over, but then they're going to want you to leave, or they're going to invite you over. Next morning, they're going to say they got shit to do, so you got to leave. They're going to be involved with other people behind the scenes. Oftentimes, these are narcissistic men, narcissistic partners in general. So they're going to be off with other people behind your back. They're going to have other partners that you don't even know about. You know, these are people they're going to say, oh, he's my guy friend. He's my best friend. But this is like a closet boyfriend, closet husband. I mean, I know this because I have a girl that says I'm her best friend, but I'm more or less like her husband, but she wants to categorize it as a best friend. So the best friend's close. Like I'm called a best friend by a chick, but I'm like a husband to her. So that's how close best friends can be, right? So anyway, guys, that's how you know if a man really likes you is, and you're not just sex, is if he's going the extra mile for you, for your family, for your children. Another thing he's going to do is he's going to text you back. So if you text him, he's going to text you right back. Like I know the girl that I was in love with, I would love it when she would call me. I would love it when she would text me because I genuinely love the person. I genuinely cared about her. So I would melt in her presence like an ice cream cone. I really love this girl. I talk about BPD all the time. I talk about narcissism all the time because I've had friends that have suffered from narcissistic personality. I've had multiple girlfriends that have suffered from borderline personality, that have suffered from narcissism, that have suffered from other disorders. Like my ex-girlfriend had severe anxiety, had severe PTSD. This made it almost impossible to date me because, you know, in her mind, every man was out to hurt her. In her mind, every guy was dangerous and to be feared. Maybe her last boyfriend beat the shit out of her. So now she equates loving relationships as something to be scared of. My last boyfriend said he loved me and then he beat the fuck out of me. Now she equates the word love with abuse. So if these BPD girls are pushing you away, maybe they're pushing you away. Maybe they're breaking up with you because their last boyfriend fucked them up. Like I know a girl that was almost killed. I know a BPD girl that was almost killed by her ex-boyfriend because he didn't understand the mental illness. He didn't understand why she was splitting, and he almost killed her. That's why it's so important for you families of members that have BPD. You should be overshadowing them and overwatching them, making sure they don't get themselves in trouble. Make sure if she has a boyfriend, pull the boyfriend aside and say, hey, do you know my sister has BPD? Don't take her behavior personally. You know, you could say that on the down low because girls that are BPD go through splitting where they'll split on their boyfriends. But, you know, back to the video, I kind of got off on a tangent there, guys. But, you know, the men that just see you as a piece of ass, you know, those are the narcissistic men that probably have a girlfriend. You know, these are guys that already have a girlfriend, already have a wife. But then they'll be on Craigslist asking for blowjobs. They'll be on Facebook trying to get dates. Like I said, some people out there, newsflash guys, some people out there literally have no morals or integrity, so they do fucked up shit. You know? They do stuff because they don't have that integrity to say no to bad behavior. They just green light it, right? So the men that just think of you as sex, you're just going to be an option in their book. They're not going to show up when they say they're going to show up. They're not going to hold commitments. They're going to leave early in the morning. They're going to show up for sex late. You know, if they already have a boyfriend, they may show up at 3 a.m. because that's when their baby mama's sleeping. You know, they see their baby mama asleep in the room. She's cutting a rug, snoring. They know they can go out and fuck their side chicks. You might be one of those side chicks, which you don't want to be in that boat. That's no fun being a side chick. Might be fun for the guy to be getting multiple pussies, but that's not fun for you women to have to go through that, especially when the man's telling you you're the only person in the picture. Meanwhile, they're fucking all these random women. So, you know, that's why it's important, guys, to use protection. Use condoms. Don't let these guys come in, you ladies. Use protection. Like I joke around with my brother constantly. My brother's a funny guy too. I joke around with him all the time because he got his girlfriend pregnant on the first date. Literally, my niece was conceived on the first date. That's why if you're going on these first dates, why not use condoms, guys? So you don't end up like my brother having a baby on the first date. Because maybe it's a woman that is crazy as fuck. Maybe it's a woman that is violent. Maybe she has a history of violence where she's going to be hurting you and hitting you, getting the police involved and making you out to be the bad guy because she has a history of domestic violence. And yes, it does happen. I've had women that were physically abusive to me. So it does happen, guys. You know, I didn't get the shit kicked out of me or anything, but some of my ex-girlfriends would have me up by the throat outside my building or something because they were BPD and psychosis. But that's kind of the answer to you guys' question without beating a fucking dead horse here is the guys that don't give a fuck, you're going to see it through their behaviors. You're going to see them slow to answer your text messages. They don't really care if you're in their presence. They don't make you feel special. They're not going to get you a blanket like I went and got my ex-girlfriend a blanket to put over her cold feet and cold legs because I loved her to death. Those are the behaviors you're going to get from men that care. You know, but you have to decide what you can handle. You know, if you have an ex-girlfriend that's going crazy, you have to decide, hey, can I put up with this further? Can I keep going with this? You have to learn when to put the brakes on, when to end a relationship, when to cut ties, when to cut losses. You know, if you're at threat of arrest because your BPD girlfriend's going crazy, then you may want to cut ties just to protect yourself. Like they'll believe anything. Some of these BPD girls will literally believe anything depending on the company they're in. I mean, if they're in the company of another narcissist that's gaslighting and saying that you're a piece of shit, you're to be feared, or you did XYZ, the BPD girl's gonna believe it because they're very impressionable young women. So if they're in the presence of an antisocial narcissist and he's telling them that you're a piece of shit, they're gonna believe it because they're very impressionable. You know, I guess all of us, all we can do is just try to, you know, cross our I's and dot our Q's, make sure we're doing the right thing in life. You know, make sure you're walking the straight and narrow path of Christ. Anyway, guys, that's going to be today's video. If you like videos like this, you can like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check my merch out. I personally designed 500 shirts on Amazon. That's Faith Rising, FAITHRIZING on the Amazon search bar to see my 500 shirts. Might be something you guys can get. I can get you in a shirt for $13.49. My reggae shirt right now is only $13.49. I actually am waiting to pick mine up in the mail tomorrow. And I'll actually do a video of that reggae shirt so you guys can check it out, see if it's something you want to get for $13.49. Until next video, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this video on how to tell if a guy likes you or just wants to fuck you and run. Till next time, Steve-O signing out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much. Don't forget to, you know, stay home if you're drinking, get a cab. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. Till next time, Steve-O signing out.